Mikhail Tal, playing as white versus Vladimir Simagin, playing as black. Soviet Chess Championship, Leningrad, 1956. In his first Soviet Chess Championship, Mikhail Tal scored 10.5, 17, and tied for 5th place, an excellent showing for a 19-year-old. However, the next year he would radically improve his score and win his first of a record 6 Soviet championships. Mikhail Tal was perhaps the best attacking player of all time. The 8th world champion was a calculating monster who loved to sacrifice pieces during attacking combinations. The game that follows was played during the 23rd USSR Championship about 4 years before he won the title. Living up to his reputation as the attacker's attacker, Tal forces Simagin to move his king 20 times out of 40 for total moves. Enjoy. Tal start with e4. Simagin responds with c6. Black appears to be leaning towards a Caro-Kann. d4. d6, one of Simagin's pet lines. Time to throw the book out of the window. Knight c3, simple development. A more positional approach was c4 hitting d5 while expanding on the queenside. Knight f6, developing as well and preparing to castle kingside. f4, while deliberately weakening his kingside, Tal sees the importance of the e5 square. Queen b6, it's a mistake, applying pressure on d4 and restricting white's dark squared bishop. Knight f3. Bishop g4. Bishop e2. Knight b to d7, dubious move. Logical development by both players. e5, Tal tests the waters. Knight d5, threatening to double white's pawns on the c-file. Castle kingside. Tal is not too worried about his pawns stacking up, so he secures his king. Knight takes c3. B takes c3. e6, sort of slow. g6 was more aggressive. Knight g5, good move. Is it possible that Tal sees a mating combination on the king side this early? It is time to strike. Tal prepares f5. Don't be afraid to allow an exchange of pieces in the opening if you gain time in the equation. Bishop take e2. Queen take e2. h6. In an attempt to kick out the knight, Black creates a new weakness. Knight take f7. Brilliant move. You must understand that chess was king, pardon the pun, in the former Soviet Union. This game was played before a big crowd of people. When Tal played 12 and xf7, the place erupted. It got so loud in the hall that the arbiter threatened to kick out all of the spectators. Can you imagine being held in contempt of court at a chess match? Of course, the knight refuses to retreat. Tal now owns the e and f files for his attack. King take f7. Simagin takes the material advantage. Little did he know that his king was about to get very, very tired. f5, good move. Since white owns the f file, he attempts to open it up. D take e5, it's a mistake. It's tough to come up with anything better here. However, Black is now officially in trouble. F take e6, check. Black has to take the pawn to save the knight. But the real surprise comes next. Can you spot it without looking ahead? King take e6. Rook b1, inaccuracy move. What? Tal is at -3 on material, and he sacks a rook. A known lover of vodka, Tal may have seemed to his opponent to be totally drunk. Was this a total blunder, or a tactic so deep that only the magician could see? Beautiful. This is the move that was celebrated throughout the chess world. It's not too difficult, though. White immediately wins the queen on b1 after black captures. Queen take b1, Simagin accepts the bait, and a series of forced moves follow. Queen c4, check, good move. King d6, it's a blunder. Bishop a3, check, good move. King c7. Rook take b1. Bishop take a3. Queen b3, good move, attacking the bishop and b7. Sorry black, you can't save them both, an important point. Without this, black could consolidate. Now black loses b7, and the attack continues. Bishop e7. Queen take b7, check. King d6. Once again, black is forced into a series of king escapes. D take e5, check. Here rook d1, a subtle and immediately decisive move. I feel Tal was a little hasty in this game due to youth, and he missed some accurate moves he would have surely found later in his career. Knight take e5. Rook d1, check, good move. King e6. Queen b3, check. King f5. Rook f1, check. King e4. Black's king is attempting to stay in the middle of the board to avoid losing any more material. The problem is, that is just what Tal wants. Rook e1, check. King f5. g4, check, good move. Taking with the king only brings him closer to white's power. Taking with the knight loses his bishop. King f6. Rook f1, check, good move. King g6. Queen e6, check, good move. Checking and forking to pieces. Simagin cannot keep his extra piece, and now the position becomes technically winning for Tal. King h7, trying to find a hole to hide in and catch a breather. Black's king is now due for his 3,000-mile oil change. Queen take e5, Tal opts to take the knight. His pressure on black has momentarily stalled. Rook, h8, now black tries to get back in the game. Rook f7, threatening queen take g7, checkmate. Bishop f8, a weak discovered attack on white's queen. It does, however, force Tal to react for once. Queen f5, check. King g8. King f2, it's a mistake. What? Tal invites Simagin to attack him. He must be drunk. In reality, Tal's post-mortem explained his desire to get his king to g6. Bishop c5, check, good move. Black now starts his first real offense of the game. King g3. Rook e3, check, good move. King h4. Rook a, 2 e8, 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e 8 2 e Rook take g7. Check. Tal sees that his king won't make it to g6 after black has doubled up his rooks, so he just sacks another rook. All kidding aside, he's drunk. I think this is an objective win, but the computer does point out queen g6, which it prefers. King take g7. Queen takes c5. The queen is much better than the two rooks due to the difference in king safety. Rook 8 to e6. Bad move. Many question this play. Queen take a7. Check. King g6. Queen a8. King f6. Another mistake by Simagin. a4. Interesting move, and Tal starts the run towards promotion. King e5. It's a mistake. a5. King d5. Queen d8. Check. King e4. a6. King f3. Rook e2 was better. a7. Rook e2. Black now threatens to gobble pawns, but it is too late. Queen d3. Check. Rook 6 to e3. Queen take e3. Check. Good move. And black resigned as he can't stop the pawn from promoting. When it comes to sacrifices, no one could match Tal. Both rook sacrifices in this game were genius. Because of inspiring play like this, Tal went on to win the World Championship from Botvinnik. For years later, he turned right around and lost it to Botvinnik a year after that. While his reign at the top may have been short, Tal continued to be considered an upper echelon Grand Master some 30 years after he lost the title. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe.